Hello, quilters. Justin here. First, I want to say thanks for coming back for part 2 of our new quilt, Log Cabin Fever. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Justin Sews and Stuff, to receive notifications when I upload new tutorials for this project and other stuff. Let's get started. Since we last met, I've gone ahead and cut out all the pieces for my blocks, and now it's time to get sewing. I've lined up all my pieces here on my cutting table, and the stack consists of piece 1 on the top, piece 2 all the way down, piece 13 on the bottom. I'm going to sew them in order all the way through. First, I'm going to sew one complete block just to show you how the assembly process works from start to finish. Then I'm going to chain piece the rest of my blocks. To begin, I'm going to sew piece 2 to piece 1. You'll notice that the log pieces will always be approximately 1/4 inch longer than the piece to which it's being attached. That, of course, is for the seam allowance. We want to make sure that we're sewing with a 1/4 inch piecing foot, and we're going to focus on keeping a 1/4 inch seam allowance. As we found with so many of the seams in this block, it's challenging to keep the block sized properly. So take your time and aim for accuracy. However, don't beat yourself up if things aren't exactly as we'd like them to be, because we'll be able to accommodate a little variation when we assemble our quilt tops in part 3. Now over at our ironing board, we're going to give this a quick press. We're going to set the seam. Then we're going to open it up and press toward the hexagon. Remember to press and not iron so that we don't have any distortion in our fabric. Back at our cutting table, we're going to trim off the ends. Now, you simply need to line up this side of your ruler with the hexagon and line up this on your ruler as well, just to make sure that everything's even. Trim off that end, flip it around, again measuring both lines, trim off this end. As you'll see, assembling each block one by one is not the most efficient way to work, but we'll cover chain piecing in just a few minutes. First, I want to show how the entire block comes together. So again, here's piece number 3, and we're going to be attaching it to the previous 2 pieces. Each of the sides will overlap by 1/4 inch. This time, we're going to be looking at piece number 2 as a guide. We're also going to line up on this side of the hexagon and on this side of the hexagon, just to make sure that everything is even. And again on the other side. Piece 4. Piece 5. Piece 6. And piece 7 will bring us full circle around the hexagon one time. This is where I like to start using a stiletto. Or in this case, this is just an ordinary double-pointed knitting needle. And I use it to keep the end laying down flat so it goes under the presser foot without turning back the other way. Okay, we're back to hexagon shaped. We're ready for pieces 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Piece 8. Again, you may need to use your stiletto to keep everything going nicely under your presser foot. just like before, make sure all of your lines are lining up so that you have a nice straightened hexagon. All right, piece 9. Piece 10. Piece 11. Piece 12. Last but not least, piece number 13. There we have it, folks. One finished block. Now what you see here is my chain piecing. So I've got all 19 blocks lined up, and what I've done is I've pieced piece number 1 to piece number 2 for all of the blocks. Then I go back, I add piece number 3 to all of the blocks, piece number 4, 5, and so on. Now I've got all the way through piece 11. And all I've done here is I've got my blocks, and underneath them, I've just got a stack of matching logs to add on. Now we're going to continue by chain piecing. I'm going to take my first block and add piece number 11. Now, without removing that first block from my sewing machine, I'm going to take my second block and add piece number 11. I'm going to continue on down the line with my next block, adding piece number 11. And so on. All I'm going to do then is keep adding pieces until I have a nice long chain of blocks. I'm going to cut apart all my blocks and press. Set that seam first. And press it open just like we did our single block. Set that aside. Press our next block. Then I'll simply trim all of those pieces. Lay them out with their matching logs and finish chain piecing all the way through the end. There you have it, folks. All we need to do is get all of our blocks finished, and then next time, what we're going to work on is assembling our blocks together and adding our interior border. Can't wait to see you then.